Let's recap. In the last video, we started building our e-commerce store in Framer, powered by Shopify. We synced our Shopify data to Framer, then displayed that data on our product page without writing any code. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I highly recommend you watch it first. We're making good progress, and in this video, we're going to take the next few steps. Let's go. So in part 2, we'll complete the following tasks. First, we'll connect our product variants so we can sell things with different sizes, colors, and more. After that, we'll finish setting up our cart and checkout experience so we can start generating sales. Then we'll cover how to add personalized upsell experiences directly inside of the cart. Okay, so first, let's actually look at how we can add some variants. So we've already built out the bones of our actual product page here, but we want the ability to select things like a size or a different color for a different product. So for example here, inside of Shopify, we actually have a product which is called Cotton Pajama Top. Now, inside of this product, we actually have a bunch of different variants set up. We have variants for color and we have variants for size. So in total, that's actually a lot of different combinations for this specific product. And we actually want to add some UX and functionality so someone can select a color and also a size. Now, this is really simple to do. First things first, you just need to make sure that this is actually set up inside of Shopify correctly, and all that content will be automatically synced over when you actually sync Shopify and Framer together, as we did in the last video. So now I'm going to go back to my project. We're going to load up Frameship, the Frameship plugin. We'll go to components and we'll go down to product. Now, there's a bunch of different components that we can use here in terms of actually displaying variants, but in this case, this first one that we want to use is the variant selector for the actual size itself. So we'll drag this in here, and what we'll do is actually configure this component. So there's a few fields that we need to link firstly. So firstly, the Shopify data field, so we'll link that. The variant image mapping, so we'll link that. And lastly, variant options. You guessed it, we're going to link that. Now let's actually go to that cotton pajama top so we can see that example. And if we preview, you can actually see all the different variations that we have of that product set up. So for every color, there's certain sizes. So we actually got a lot of different combinations here, but this is quite messy. So we actually want to reduce this. So inside of this component here, I can actually set the filter type, and we're going to go to contains. And now we're going to set the filter group. Now, inside of Shopify, our filter groups is color, that's one group, and the other one is size. So for this one, what we're actually going to do is filter it by size. So now it's showing that product and all of the relevant sizes. So now when I preview this, I can actually select a product and its size. And to confirm this actually works, what we can do is open up Frameship once again, go to components, go down to product, and we actually have a component which is called variant info label. So I'm actually just going to drag and drop this one in here, and we'll connect this to our Shopify data, and we'll select the type to be variant name. So basically what it's going to do is display the variant or options that we actually have selected. So when I preview this, select the size to be 8, you'll notice that's dynamically updating there as well. So that's how we can add for size. And you will notice that if I go to a product that say doesn't have a size, like a wooden coffee table, then it's just going to hide and it's not going to show because there's no filter actually found for that variant. If I go to another product like cropped denim jeans, you can see that's going to show different variants and different options based on the size that has been set. But let's go back to our cotton pajama top, because we also want the ability for someone to actually select a color. So pink, navy, or floral. So to do this, what we can actually do is go back to Frameship once again, and you guessed it, there's a component for it. So we'll go to components, we'll go to product, and we'll scroll down and we'll drag in the variant color swatches. So I'm actually going to drag this one in here. And again, we're going to map these fields. So we'll map this to Shopify data, this one to variant image mapping, and this one to variant options. Okay, we're already starting to see a lot of options here, which is actually a good sign. Now, we actually need to map this correctly, but before we do that, let's go down to filter type. This time we'll go contains and we'll set it to color, because for this particular product, there's only 3 colors. Now, inside of the color mapping item here, we can actually set a color and map it to a certain color, any color that we want. So what's important here is that we actually get the naming conventions right. So pink, navy, floral. They're the three options that we want to design for. So we'll set the first option here. We'll call it pink. And then we can set a color. So let's find a cool sort of like pink color. Our next one is navy. So we'll just add another option. And you guessed it, we're going to find a bit of a navy color. And then lastly, we've got floral, which, could be any sort of color. Let's just go something a little bit brighter. Let's go a bit of just a light green. Okay, so now when I actually preview this, I can actually select a color and it's actually updating in the display here as well. So I can select both a size and a color, and this is actually working. And you'll also notice that as I change the color, that this smart image gallery on the left-hand side is also changing the preview. So already this is feeling like a real e-commerce store. Now let's test out some of this functionality. So let's actually update our live website. So let's say we select an option for a certain size, select a color, let's go say floral, and then add that to the cart. You'll notice that product and its variants are being added correctly to the cart. Now, just like anything else in Framer, we have full styling control around these as well. So for example, let's go into this component here and let's actually update some of the styling to feel a little bit more on brand. So let's just take a couple of these things, wrap them together, take these variants here, wrap them inside of their own frame, just like so. And we'll even take this top content here, which is the core information for my products, and we'll add that inside of its own stack and change the gap here as well. And then increase the gap between all three of those parent frames. Okay, this is looking pretty damn good so far. We can also change to another product. And as you can see, everything is actually being pulled through as expected, and all the products are kind of working. Now on my product page too, we also have a bit of a breadcrumb menu here as well. So I can actually just connect some of these to my fields inside of my CMS. So for example, we can set the product name to be the title. The category here, we can actually set the variable to be category, and then that's going to dynamically update for every page as well, which is just making our store feel a little bit more clean and put together. Okay, let's move on and let's actually talk about the cart, because even though it is functioning as expected, it does feel a little bit lackluster at the moment, and there's definitely some improvements that we can make here. So everything in terms of the cart actually lives inside of this component that we added earlier inside of our navbar. So I'm going to double click this, and there's a couple of things to explore here. We have the cart button itself, which we can fully customize. And then we have the cart layer, so what it actually looks like when it's opened. Now we can also add additional functionality to this cart as well. But first, let's actually double click into this cart layer, go unlink and replace all. And just like anything in Framer, all this is customizable. So for example, if we want to update the styling here or add an element to it, we can absolutely do that. So let's change the size here. I feel like this checkout button could be a little bit bigger. So let's set the height to be 45 pixels, and let's change the styling as well. So we'll go down to styling here, change the border radius to be 0. And again, let's also update the font. Let's update this one as well. Now off to the left-hand side here, we can actually design for what it looks like when an item is in the cart and what it looks like when there's no items in the cart. So our empty state. Again, these are just components. So what I can do is actually just update the content here. Maybe we make this look a little bit sadder. Maybe we add like an icon of like a sad face or something like that. So let's grab an icon, find a little sad guy. There we go. And then we'll change the layout here. Let's actually change the stroke width to be to a gray. And there you go. That's a bit of a preview of what it's going to look like when there's no items in my cart. And then for the cart list item, we can do that as well. So if I just double click this, go unlink and replace all, then we can actually have full styling control over this stuff as well. So let's actually just change the title, and let's change the font of that. Let's make it say a little bit bigger. Maybe this item here, maybe we want this to be instrument sans, and maybe we want it to be a bit of a light gray. It's the same for the subscription plan name. Maybe we want to have that a little bit grayer as well. And maybe these inputs need to be updated as well. Okay, so if we publish our website again, we can see some of those styling changes. So let's go to our website, give it a hard refresh, and open our cart up once again. And there you go. You can see our cart starting to feel a little bit more on brand. But there's more we can do, because if you've ever worked on e-commerce sites before, you know that conversion is king, and it's actually really important that we design for conversion. And especially because we're in Framer, not only can we make the site look good, we actually have full control over designing for that high quality conversion as well. So actually inside of our cart here, we can add things to actually help a customer check out sooner. So if we go to Frameship, once again, there's actually a bunch of different components that we can use. So let me highlight just a couple for you. So if we go to cart here, you can take a look for yourself in terms of what we can add. But for example, we could add a cart upsell. So the ability for someone to very quickly add another product to their cart, or even a promotional progress bar. So let's say if somebody reaches $100, then we might actually award them free shipping. So to do this, we can just drag in this component here. Let's say we'll put it up the top. We'll set the width of this component to be, say, 100%. And inside of here, we can actually set our certain thresholds. So for example, we can set the minimum to be 0 and the maximum to be $100. And then essentially we can track between that. So to demonstrate this quickly, I'll just update my website. Cool. Let's say we add an item to the cart. And now you'll see we've kind of got this counter at the top here. So let's say I add another item, you'll see that it's kind of dynamically updating based on the total price of my actual cart. And if I reach $100, then I'd be able to get free shipping. And we can essentially just spend the time actually designing for that. So again, it's all Framer, so everything's just customizable. So we might want to change the track to be something different here as well. Now, let's say in our cart too, we actually want to let someone apply a discount code so they can know the actual order of their value before they actually go to complete their checkout. So what I could do is go to the Frameship plugin once again, go to components, go down to carts, and let's actually drag in the discount code modal. So I'm going to bring this in here. Okay, great. And let's go ahead and set the width of this to be 100%. Now, it's also important that we actually have that discount set up inside of Shopify. So let's just update our website firstly, and let's go to Shopify here. We're going to go to discounts on the left-hand side, and you can see we've already got these discount codes set up with certain eligibility. So for example, we have one called Save 10, which gives you 10% off one-time purchase products. Now we actually need to show that discount being applied as well using the discount label. So I'm actually just going to drag this into the page. Now, if we go into our cart here and actually change this type here to be total instead of subtotal, then we're actually going to be able to display the full price dynamically. So we go add to cart. And if we remove that 10% code, you notice that price is updating. Let's add it back and click apply. And now that price is being updated to $130.50. Now, this doesn't look very good so far, so let's actually just update some of the styling here. So let's go into the input, set the radius to be, say, 0. Let's remove this background color, make it white at least. Add a bit of a border, so we'll add a border of, say, 1 pixels, and we'll set that to be our light gray. We'll change the fonts, and we'll also change the styling of our button as well. So let's change the border radius to be 0, change the background color to be a gray. Let's actually set it to be a light gray, and then let's set the text color to be black. And maybe what we'll do is actually put this below the footer here. Okay, so that's looking a little bit nicer. Let's publish our website once again, just to check out those changes. So if we add this to the cart, you'll notice that the cart total is dynamically updating. And if I add a discount code, so we'll go save 10. So we'll click that. And then you'll notice that discount is being applied, which will be sent to checkout. Okay, let's recap. So we've built our product variants, built our cart and checkout flows, and even built a personalized upselling experience to increase our average order value. Now, in the final part, Part 3, we'll build our catalog page and add dynamic filtering so a customer can find a product that's right for them. And lastly, we'll cover adding multi-currency so you can sell your product in multiple countries. By the way, if you want to duplicate this project, I've included the remix link for free in the description. And if you want more Framer videos, just like this one, subscribe to the channel because we put out new videos here every single week. And if you want to master Framer, like truly master it, feel free to check out my A to Z course where I teach you everything you need to know to become a Framer master and become a more valuable web designer. But until next time, I'll catch you later.